Pictures of New York. A very, very quiet scene outside of Trump Tower. Interestingly enough, all of the discussion of mass protests and unrest and that another January 6th was coming appears at this point to have been downright irresponsible. Here is New York's Democratic mayor.
I really have a lack of concern. I know how well the New York City Police Department is able to pivot and shift based on the circumstances that they are facing. This is a unique situation, and the New York City Police Department is fully prepared with the coordination that Deputy Mayor Bank is doing with our other law enforcement entities. I have no concern at all around this.
With us now, George Will, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, NewsNation senior political contributor. It's good to see you as always, George. It did feel, at least in the very beginnings of this, that there was almost, you don't want to say a hope, but certainly that there was a real incentive by some to put this idea that violence was fermenting upon us.
I don't think the country is stirred by this beyond the following. I think this does look to a lot of people to be political because it is an elected district attorney and prosecutor in New York. I think elected prosecutors are a terrible idea in a blue state or a red state or any other state. But the danger, Leland, is that there's going to look like something like piling on after this. We have the investigation going on for the federal investigator concerning the documents held at Mar-a-Lago and the possible charge that Mr. Trump tried to interfere with the investigation thereof. And you have an elected prosecutor in Georgia talking about the attempt, as she sees it, by Mr. Trump to overturn the election results in that state. So if you have in short order, not just one rickety case brought by Mr. Bragg in New York, but two other cases, it's going to look to a lot of people like piling on. Just
especially
take the documents case.
Especially if the first one is really rickety, right? If you bring the strongest case that has the most evidence, that because we've experienced something that we have not seen since 2015, which is the uniting of the Republican Party. Jeb Bush, of all people, defending Donald Trump. Never thought I'd see that. Bragg's predecessor didn't take up the case. The Justice Department didn't take up the case. Bragg first said he would not take up the case. This is very political, not a matter of justice. In this case, let the jury be the voters. The perhaps lone outside voice is Asa Hutchinson, who was announced for president. He was on Elizabeth Vargas's show a little bit earlier with his refrain that somehow Donald Trump should just move along, which people have been saying to Donald Trump, and he never has. How worried should Republicans be that this is about the best thing that's ever happened to Donald Trump?
They should be fairly worried about this. Now, remember, when you stir up a pond, the silt gets in the water and it's hard to see through it. And then after a little while, the silt settles. And I think after this settles, after we have the circus tomorrow, this will calm down and this will go to a courtroom. Lord knows, Leland, our politics right now. I'm reminded in 1968, George Wallace, running for president as a populist rabble-rouser, said, "We got too much dignity in American politics." We've solved that problem. But it seems to me the courtroom should be an island of dignity in an ocean of chaos in American life right now. And if the judge maintains control, and a judge is the emperor in his courtroom, he can do whatever he wants. If he is stable, temperate, measured, this could be a teaching moment for the Americans.
And we may not see it, right? Because there has been this motion by the Associated Press, CNN, NBC News, The Washington Post, and the New York Times for cameras in the courtroom. If there are not to be cameras in the courtroom, the only thing we will get is runners coming out, reporters who've written stories. We have some pictures that there's already line sitters from the various news organizations now outside of the courtroom in order to secure spots for reporters for tomorrow's hearing. At the same time, if we're going to have cameras in the courtroom for the O.J. Simpson trial, the Casey Anthony trial, recently the Alex Murdaugh trial, how can it not be in the public interest to see and hear every word that our former president is on trial for?
That's a good question. In an open society, Leland, the default position should be openness. This is a public proceeding. It is a public issue. These are public figures. These are public laws. And there ought to be transparency here.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.